Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Bianca and I am here with a fun kind of reading vlog, but it's a trip to Wales and I'm taking you along and I'm really excited about this. It's Thursday evening. We are leaving tomorrow morning really early, so I thought I'd quickly jump on here and show you the books that I'm taking. The car is packed, everything apart from our clothes, toiletries and bedding, but all of the camping stuff is packed, ready for tomorrow. And the plan is just to leave quite early and I'm going to be taking you along. So I am in like an old pyjama top at the moment because a lot of stuff is packed and also I've got some clothes in the tumble dryer, trying to quickly dry them as quickly as possible so I could pack those as well. But let's just dive straight into the books that I'm taking away with me. So I've already started this week, so I'm basically taking it with me to finish it. It is The Death Watcher by Chris Carter, and this is your typical thriller with a detective, and we've got a detective duo in here. They are basically just, you know, always trying to find the serial killer. It's your typical detective story really, but it's, I don't know, I really like Chris Carter's writing and he is a auto-buy author for me, so I'm really enjoying this. I think I will probably make a good dent of this whilst we're on the drive to the campsite that we're staying at, because it's 6.5 hours away, so I could probably get quite a good chunk of it done during the drive. And then I have 3 books that I'm also taking with me. So we've got this, which is called The Last House on the Cliff by Wynne Clark, and this is actually set in Anglesey, which is near to where we are staying. And in this one we've got a bit of, it's a thriller but with a bit of a supernatural element, which I'm really intrigued by, and I just love this cottage on the cover. I need to take the sticker off, but I think it's going to be good to read whilst in Wales. And then I have another book that is kind of set in Wales. It's between Wales and York, and it is this, which is a book that my granddad gave to me recently. It's Ravenspur, which is actually the 4th book I found out in the Wars of the Roses series. However, I have heard that you can read it as a standalone, so I'm going to give it a go. It's set in 1470 and we have King Edward of York, who was driven out of England and he finds himself in Pembroke Castle in Wales. Not my usual type of genre, but I'm intrigued enough by it. I'm going to give it a go, and obviously I just wanted books set in Wales. The final book, well, it's not set in Wales. I went to the library with a whole list of books that were either by Welsh authors or set in Wales, and they were not available, none of them were available in my local library. And I didn't want to go empty-handed, come away empty-handed. So I've got this, which is a book that I have had my eye on a couple of times when I've recently been into the library, and this is definitely not set in Wales. It's actually Victorian London and set in an asylum, and I do love books set in asylums. This one in particular is a devious husband and a wronged wife and a Victorian asylum, and we're going to be looking at like how women were treated back in the Victorian London at the Victorian times and how they were just thrown into the asylums and all of that. I think it's just going to be a really good, well, it's not going to be good, you can't really call it good, it's going to be harrowing, I reckon, but you know what I mean. And I do really like this cover as well. I think that's why I kept you know, kept appealing. It was what is the word, I kept getting drawn to it, there we go. And yeah, obviously I didn't want to come away empty-handed from the library, so I took this away with me. So I'm going to be reading that as well. So that is 3 books to start. 2 are set in Wales and 1 no, but it's okay. and then my current read, which I'm going to finish on the way. I don't have the dust jacket on because I always take the dust jackets off on my hardbacks. So those are the books. Let's make our way. Well, we're not going just now, but I'm going to take you along on this journey to Wales with a little trip to go into lots of different places. It's going to be very fun. I hope you enjoy the video. Hello, I'm here with a reading update because I have finished The Death Watcher by Chris Carter. So if you can hear that in the background, there is a sheep right outside the tent going mental. So but I wanted to film this because, you know, it's a little bit of reading updates. We're on the first day, that everything is all set up. I showed in the clip before just a little bit of the setup. There's only one other tent on this camping site, which is like the other end. So there's like no one around apart from sheep and chickens. I think it's because I've got the lights on. I've just put the lights on and they started barring. So maybe when the lights go off, they'll be quiet, possibly. But God, they're making lots of noises. Anyway, I just wanted to give like a reading update in regards to this. So it's actually really distracting having them going off for one. So yeah, this is basically following a serial killer, and we are following Robert Hunter and Hunter and Garcia, and they are a detective duo out looking for this serial killer. The serial killer's got something a bit unique though. He seems to torture the victims, and then when they are dead, he then disposes of the bodies in a way that it makes it look like it's a suicide. The theory being that with suicides in LA, they basically don't always have a full autopsy. So they tend to usually just go to students, and they don't have like a full-on autopsy. Sometimes they don't have anything done. So this is how the serial killer has been getting away with it, and it's really cleverly done. I absolutely love Chris Carter's work. This is 5 stars. It's not for the faint-hearted though, so do be aware of that, and definitely check the trigger warnings for this as well. I think there is a certain trigger warning in this book which I think a lot of people could find a bit disturbing, but I do think Chris Carter is amazing at what he does. He's an amazing author and just does some really good writing. So yeah, it's definitely a 5-star. I absolutely loved it. I read the majority of it today because we did have quite a large journey. It was about 6 hours, I think, just under 6 hours to get here. I wasn't reading the whole time. Obviously when we hit Wales, I wasn't reading them because I just wanted to take it all in a little bit. But yeah, I'm pleased I've read that book. My next one is going to be this, which is set in Anglesey, which is a place that we are going to be going to whilst we're here this week. I might start it now because I'm showered. I've had my shower, I've come back, and Paul's just gone to go and have a shower, so I might have a little bit of time to read this before he gets back, so I might do that. Might make a start on it, even though it's like straight after finishing book, but that's fine, we can make a start. But I just wanted to give a little bit of a reading update. And tomorrow we're going to possibly be going to Conwy and Conwy Castle, and it's like a town with this really old wall surrounding the town, and it's on the coast, I believe. So yeah, we're going to go check that out. Obviously never been there, so we're going to check that out tomorrow, because I think the weather might be quite bad. I mean, we might be doing something completely different. We've got a list of things that we want to do, but there's no particular order in what we're doing, so we'll see. But tomorrow's Saturday, so obviously a lot more people around on a Saturday, so we've also wanted to kind of judge it by that as well. But yeah, not 100% sure exactly what we're doing yet, but I think the plan is possibly Conwy, so we shall see. And every time I'm going to make a start on this. Hello, I'm here with a little reading update. Hang on, let me try and... There we go. I think that each night whilst Paul is showering, I'm going to do my reading update. So I've got out of the shower, I've just washed my hair, hence why it's still very damp. I need to dry a bit more actually. Okay, so today we went to Conwy. I went to Conwy Castle and went for an afternoon, well, not an afternoon, a cream tea, a place called Anna's upstairs, and that was lovely. And everywhere we went today was just very beautiful. I really like Conwy. It's like a little town that's surrounded by these giant walls, which are still standing from when the castle was built. And yeah, it's just a very nice place. And tomorrow we are going to a forest. It's like a quarter forest park, and we're going to be going for a walk. I think it's like 6.5 miles, so not too bad, but it covers like a mountain, some lakes and some forest. So we're doing that tomorrow, which is Sunday, so I'll take you along for that. And then reading wise, I have managed to get to page 159 of this. So this is basically following, I think you say her name Lowry. It's L-O-W-R-I. I've never come across that name before actually. And basically when she was a young girl, she used to go and stay with her aunt over in this house, which she also had as like a funeral parlour. And so obviously she dressed the dead there and did all the funerals for all the locals in the area in Anglesey. And you kind of seeing, after her aunt passes away, her take her daughter Ruby back to this house, and then certain things start happening, and we've just got to the point where Ruby is now missing, which isn't a spoiler, it's on the back. We know that Ruby goes missing, so she's now disappeared. And we're going to see Lowry, how you say her name, obviously looking into her family's past and trying to figure out, you know, all these secrets are, which kind of could mean that either her or her daughter is in a lot of danger. So yeah, there are some spooky elements to it. There's some parts in here which are quite creepy. I'm not gonna lie, there's like a creepy doll, and someone seems to be lurking outside, and there seems to be a little old lady that only Ruby, the daughter, can see. So there are a lot of creepy elements, and the house is creepy as well. Obviously, you know, it was used as a funeral parlour as well for many years. So there's a lot of creepy elements to the book. There is quite a bit of repetition though. I'm sorry if you can hear that in the background, it's the sheep. There is quite a lot of repetition though. They're like there's like a paragraph that will then be repeated pretty much word for word, like a few pages later, about the same thing, which I don't really understand why. It's like it's not being edited or it's not being picked up, and I find it a bit bizarre, like the same thing being basically spoken about again. But I am enjoying it. I'm liking the spooky element of it. I do actually really like the main character, and that's always a plus. But yeah, I'm going to continue reading a little bit now whilst we're still off having a shower. So I'm going to continue reading for a little bit. I'm going to do a skincare first, actually, because I haven't moisturised yet. You might be able to tell because this light is not forgiving. So I'm going to do my moisturiser, skincare, and I'm going to carry on reading, and then it's getting into bed because I think it's like 10:30, 11. I'm not really sure what time it is actually, to be honest, but yeah, then we're going to head out tomorrow and do this trek, this forest trek, and I will take you along for that too. Hello, another little update. We'd had a fantastic day today. We went to Gwydir Forest Park and we did a big walk along there. We went to a viewpoint, we drove to a viewpoint, and we also went to a waterfall called Fairy Falls, which was really nice as well. So we went to quite a few different places, and then we stopped off at a pub on the way back to the tent to have a pint of cider, which is a very nice pub as well. It's only like 2 miles down the road, so we'll probably go back there for dinner, probably on Friday night as well, because it's a very nice pub. Really liked the look of it, so we'll try that out then. So yeah, we've had an amazing day. Tomorrow we are going to, I think it's called Llandudno, which is like a seaside town. It's got a pier, and then you can take a tram up to, I think it's called Great Orme. So we're going to do that tomorrow, and we should have a really nice day over that way. I apologise for my hair, it's like wet. I've just got out of the shower. I don't even wash my hair, but I've still managed to get myself, it was when I was doing my face wash in the shower. Also, I have to say, the showers on this campsite are amazing. It's not a push button one. You just turn it on and have it on for as long as you like, and as hot as you like. You can change the temperature. And so yeah, I was just stood under it for absolutely ages. It's amazing. Reading wise, I've only got about 80 pages left of this, which is The Last House on the Cliff. I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying it very much. I mean, there is a moment in there which must be absolutely harrowing. I'm not a parent myself, but the storyline is obviously we're following Lowry and her daughter Ruby has gone missing, and it's just, yeah, I don't know how, you know, a parent would be able to just cope with that. Well, she's obviously not just coping with it, but you know, like, how do you get past that? And you know, I just, oh, my heart breaks for this woman. There are some quite odd parts to the book as well. I think I'm kind of guessing what's going to happen concerning a couple of the characters, which I don't think were main characters, but they're starting to turn into main characters. There's something very sinister, and it's all around this family, and yeah, we're starting to find out some things. Now we're only about, we're in the last 80 to 90 pages, we're starting to find out some things, so it's turned into a really good book. Whilst we're in Llandudno tomorrow, there is a bookshop there, so I'm going to try and go to that bookshop to get, it's called Bargains Books, just to get a couple more books, because I have a feeling I might run out of books by the end of the week to read. I've got the library book, and then I do have another book, but I'm not 100% sure whether I want to read that one, which is obviously a bit of a fantasy with a royal family, that sort of thing, so we'll see. But the plan is to go to a bookshop tomorrow as well. Oh, God, he had a flipping finger in my eye then. It's flew up my face. So yeah, again, I shall take you along, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of a reading update and just like an evening update of what's happened today. But yeah, it's been a fun second, like a full second day. So yeah, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Weird. Hello, so we got some reading updates, some book mail to show you. So today we went to Llandudno. If you are Welsh and you're listening to me pronounce these Welsh names, I do apologise. I just can't, I don't know how to. Oh, such an English thing to say, isn't it? So I do apologise. But I went to Llandudno, and there's a pier there, and it's a very much like a proper seaside town, but it's a nice seaside town. You know, when you can go to some, in some areas, and it's just naff and just horrible and just, yeah, not very nice, because everything's like run down. There are some like run down parts to Llandudno, but on the whole it seems quite nice. So yeah, I did like it. And then we got the tram up to Great Orme and went into the mines, which was good. And we went to a cafe that overlooked the sea as well to have tea and cake. We spent the whole day there, as we did manage to find a lot of stuff to do and had a great day. Tomorrow we are going to Llanberis and doing the railway, and then doing the Slate mining museum or something like that, a Slate museum. And then we are going to go to a waterfall that's near the Llanberis path, but we're not walking up the Llanberis path because that's Mount Snowdon, and we did Mount Snowdon not last year, year before, and I've done it. It's just very, very busy. I mean, we went up the Watkin path, so it was okay, but coming down, we came down the Llanberis path and it was so busy and just horrendous. The Watkin path is, I mean, if you're not an experienced hiker, or I wouldn't recommend the Watkin path, but yeah. Anyway, I'm going into like another time that we're in Wales. So the Llanberis path is going up Mount Snowdon, but we're not going up the actual path. It's just a lot off to the side of Llanberis path. There is like a waterfall that you can go and walk to. So it's like on the bottom of Mount Snowdon. So we're not going up Mount Snowdon. So that's what we're doing tomorrow. So today, whilst I was in Llandudno, I did pick up 2 books. So let me show you these. They're both very autumn themed as well, actually. So we've got the Ascombe Accusation, which is by Rebecca Tope, an author that I don't know about, but I do really like this cover. And on the back it says, autumn clouds are drawn in over the village of Ascombe at the edge of the picturesque Lake District, and mourners, including Simi Henderson, are heading to the funeral of Humphrey Craig. Taking a quiet moment later to visit the grave and admire the flowers with a flossed sigh, Simi meets 2 women, academic Lindsay Wilson and 90-year-old matriarch Pauline Parsons. Just 24 hours later, Mrs. Parsons was found dead on Ascombe Fell, and Simi faces questioning at Penrith Police Station. An accusation has been made, but Simi is to avoid arrest for murder she did not commit. She will have to uncover the killer herself. Is Penrith... So is this set in Wales? Or is that just... No, it's not. It's in the Lake District. It tells me on the back. Jesus. Right. So, I don't know why I thought Penrith was somewhere in Wales. Anyway, so this is set in the Lake District, and it's kind of like a thriller. I've not heard of this author before, but yeah, I'm keen to read that. And then I got a Nora Roberts book, and it's called The Awakening, and it's the first book 1 in the Dragonheart Legacy. And this is basically following someone who decides to make a change to their life, and they go for a summer trip to Ireland, which is her father's homeland. And little does she know how much of a leap until a walk in the woods leads her through a portal into another world, where Bryn will find magic, family, and a destiny she could never have dreamed of. So I like the whole idea that there's a portal into this other world and there's magic involved. And the first paragraph, which I'll read to you, kind of hooked me a bit. So it says, mists, shimmering silver fingers, rose over the pale green water of the lake. They twined and twisted toward a sky quietly grey, while in the east, over the hills, a pink blush waited, like a held breath, to wake him. So, I don't know, kind of like... yeah, kind of like hooked me in from that. And again, I really like the cover, very autumnal, but it is what it is. Also, reading wise, I did finish The Last House on the Cliff by Anne Wynne Clark. This is the second novel by this author. I kind of feel like I can see where this author is going, and that she's got the potential to be a 5-star read eventually. Her writing is really good. And we are following our main protagonist, Loie, and I really liked her character, and I did enjoy the story and the line and the premise to this. I kind of feel like at times, maybe towards the beginning, maybe as she was just finding her way with the story, I don't know what it was, but there was a couple of instances where things were basically repeated, and I couldn't really understand why she was going over the same thing again, if you know what I mean. So I gave this 4 stars. So it had potential, and there's definitely potential for me to give a 5-star to this author in future books by her. So I'm definitely going to be reading more. I did really enjoy it. There is like this quite sinister storyline to it. Do check the trigger warnings for it though, because I think there are some triggers which are a bit not great. And I've already started my next read, which is The Painted Bridge by Wendy Wallace, and I got to page, what did I get to? 87, and I am enjoying this. I'm loving the writing. It's set in a Victorian asylum. The writing is just beautiful and stunning. So yeah, we basically have this woman who's been put into the asylum because her husband has decided that she's crazy. He's just decided himself and stuck her in this asylum. But the writing is absolutely stunning. So I think that's what's drawing me in at the moment. So I'm going to continue reading this a little bit now. And obviously tomorrow when we get back, I'll read some more. So yeah, I did pick up 2 books today purely because I was a bit concerned that I was going to finish like this one and then not have anything else to read, because I'm not interested in the 4th book that I brought along, but that is like there as a backup if I do get through all of those books, which I'm thinking probably isn't going to happen. But yeah, I wanted to give you a little bit of an update. So that was, I finished a book, made a start on a book, and a little bit cool with 2 books that I purchased today when I was in Llandudno. But yeah, we've had an amazing day and looking forward to tomorrow. Hello.
Say cheese.
There we go.
Cheese. Cheese.
I'm coming on here with a little bit of a reading update. I'm about halfway through The Painted Bridge by Wendy Wallace. I'm really enjoying it. It's a very slow, it's very much a slow burn, and not a lot is actually happening, but the writing is just stunning and it's very descriptive. And we're basically following our main character, Anna, who has been put into this asylum. And the way women were treated back in Victorian times is absolutely horrendous. And there's a couple of things that the men say, the male characters in the book say about women, which is absolutely horrific and makes my blood boil, as the saying goes. So it's obviously set in 1859, and she's basically being put into this asylum by her husband, who basically doesn't want her around. He's got a mistress, and he decides, he's a vicar as well, and decides that she needs to be put into this asylum to help her. And she's trying to get out, and we've just got to a point where she has got out, kind of, with the help of someone. But whether she manages to stay out, I'm not sure. What's going to happen to her when she gets, if she does get caught, all of that, I'm not sure yet. But it's very well written. It's superbly written. The writing, like I said, is absolutely stunning. So I am very much enjoying this, even though it is very much a slow burn and not a lot is actually happening. But it's okay because it's just so well written that I'm just enjoying it because of that reason. I'm halfway through page 197, and yeah, I think it's going to be quite a good read. So today we went to Llanberis, which is the start of the main tourist path going up Mount Snowdon, but we didn't go up Mount Snowdon. We basically went along the Llanberis railway. We went to the Slate museum, and we went just alongside the Llanberis path is another path you can go up, and it takes you to a really cool waterfall. So we went to the bottom part of the waterfall, and then we climbed up to the top part of the waterfall, and it's where the railway for the Mount Snowdon, for people that take the railway up Mount Snowdon, it goes past there. So obviously all the people that were getting the railway up the mountain basically went past us, and we kind of stopped them from seeing the waterfall by accident, which, yeah, we kind of stood in the way of the view to the waterfall. But yes, we managed to go to that waterfall, and everything it's been a really nice day. We did like a really good scenic route across the coastline, and you end up driving through like this tunnel in the rocks in the cliff, which was really cool. So yeah, very nice drive round back to the campsite. Tomorrow we are getting up early at about 7:15, and we're going to be leaving early because we're spending the whole day over in Anglesey. So you go across the bridge to Anglesey, and we're going to, I think, 5 different places in Anglesey tomorrow. So it's going to be a lot of driving, but there's going to be a lot of walking as well. And we're just going to see how the day goes. But we're going to basically spend, because it doesn't start getting dark until about probably about 9:30. It starts being dusk, 10 dark. So at the moment, so yeah, probably like 10, I think, gets dark. So we have a lot of time on our hands, daylight time tomorrow. So we're going to be doing the Isle of Anglesey, which I'm really excited about. We've got, yeah, like I said, 5 different places that we're going to. But I just wanted to come on with today's update and the plan for tomorrow, and a reading update for my book that I'm very much enjoying at the moment. gosh, I look so tired. Okay, so today we went to 5 different places. So we went over to Anglesey, and I wanted to try and make the most of us being over there. So we kind of went to 4 different places. We went to a nature reserve and went for a walk there. We went to Parys Mountain, which is an old copper mine, and went for a walk there. And then we went to 5 places, I think. Yeah. Now my brain's completely gone, and I can't think of the names of the other places that we went to. Which is marvellous, isn't it? Oh dear, right. But yeah, you would have seen the clips. Okay, went to a couple of beaches as well. And yeah, it's just an absolutely stunning part of the world. I mean, the towns, when you go through like the towns with all the houses, they're not stunning. There's nothing amazing about any of the towns at all. They're all very, I don't know, they're all grey pebble dash housing, and they're just not very pretty, and there's nothing pretty in the towns at all. But you go outside of the towns through the countryside and it's absolutely stunning. Which I kind of feel like is the kind of the theme with the whole of Wales, to be honest. We noticed it when we were in the Brecon Beacons as well, and then when we were also in a different part of Snowdonia. So yeah, I think it's just a thing that is the case in Wales. Like the houses in the towns and like the towns themselves aren't stunning at all, whereas you go outside of the towns and it's absolutely stunning everywhere you go. And there was a lot of stunning places in Anglesey that we went to today. We ended up doing 5 different walks, which is why I'm so tired. I've showered and washed my hair as soon as we got back, and we stopped to have some fish and chips as well, which was very nice on the way back. But tomorrow is a bit more chill, it's less walking tomorrow. We're doing a boat trip in the morning, which is about 11 o'clock-ish, and then we'll have some lunch, and then we're going to go to Beaumaris Castle and around the town of Beaumaris tomorrow. So not as much walking and a bit more chill, which will be nice. So I'll probably get some more reading done tomorrow as well, because I'll have a bit more time in the morning and we'll be getting back earlier. I mean, this evening we didn't get back until like 9 o'clock. So I need to stop using my hands, I just noticed. But see how bright my nail varnish is. Reading wise, I did read a little bit when we got back. So I'm now on page 245. So I think I've got less than 100 pages to go. Oh no, I've got about 140 pages to go. So I'm going to try and make a good dent in that tomorrow. Could possibly get this done. What are we on today? I don't even know what days we are on. Right, so on Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. So I think I could get this done tomorrow and make a start on another book that I'll have Friday and Saturday. And you know, the journey back is like, what is it, 6 hours, so it's doable to get definitely another book done. If not another book, then maybe even 2 more books after this, we shall see. But I'm just gonna leave it now and take you with me again tomorrow. I'm just too tired. I need to go and brush my teeth because I showered so early. I don't want to brush my teeth just yet in case I had like a rum and coke. I ended up not having a rum and coke. I'm still drinking water. But I'm just so tired, like I can't even think straight right now. So I'm gonna go and go brush my teeth and then get into bed. I mean, to go to brush my teeth is a chore in itself because I've got to walk to the other side of the field. I'm just so tired. But I'm gonna do it. I'm I'm gonna head over there now, and then I can get back here. I was gonna say I'm gonna read a bit more, but I don't think I am. I think I need to go to bed. It's about 10:15, so it's really early for what, yeah, for when I normally go to sleep, but I'm just so tired. It's been a lot of walking today, a lot of sightseeing, just a lot we've done in general today. So yeah, I'm looking forward to a bit more of a chill day tomorrow. I say chilled, we're still doing a lot of stuff, but it's not as full on as it was today. So let's go and I'm gonna go get ready for bed, and I shall see you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Basically, anywhere where there's restricted visibility, they love it.
Right hand side is a male.
Basically, ambush a fish without fish, you know it's there.
It's a lot darker and he's got a really thick face.
But there we go. It's a hard life being a seal.
Hello, coming on here with my evening update. I've got my ginormous, very thick without a doubt, and it's somewhere that I would happily move to, which you can't say a lot about the towns in Wales, but this one is definitely up there. It's touristy, but not too touristy. It's got a lot going for it. Anyway, we went out on a boat to Puffin Island to go around the island. You can't get off the boat, you can't go on there. It's all been taken over by nature, and there's puffins, there's so many different types of birds. We saw a load of grey seals, and it was the most amazing thing, like the most amazing experience I've ever had. It was like out of this world amazing. If you're ever in North Wales and you're ever close to Anglesey, just hop over there. And we used, I think it was called the Seafarers Cruise to Puffin Island, which was absolutely amazing. I might try and link different sites down below, that one being one of them, just to give you an idea on the trip, on where to go basically when if you ever come to North Wales. So yeah, I'll link that down below in the description, because it's something which was out of this world amazing. And we also went to Beaumaris Castle. I mean, all the castles are pretty much the same. There was plenty of information boards in there, and it wasn't too overly priced. I think it was £10 per person, so it was fine. And then we went to the prison, what they call a gaol, G-A-O-L, no, G-O-A-L, gaol. Do you know what? I can't remember. The word just completely gone out of my head. But anyway, you know what I mean. So like an old prison from way back. We got on the boat, we hadn't had a coffee this morning, so we decided to get a coffee at this really nice place on the seafront. I will find out what it was called because I can't remember what it's called, and I will link it down below because it's somewhere it's 10 out of 10. I would highly recommend going there. It looked amazing, and another couple of people had breakfast brought out, and it's absolutely amazing, that place. So again, I'll link that down below. Today was an amazing day, absolutely amazing. I absolutely love that town. Like, it's amazing, to the point where we were looking on Rightmove at houses and cottages there, and we can easily sell our house and pretty much more than half our mortgage and move there. And yeah, it's cheap compared to where we live. So yeah, I would definitely recommend that place, 100%. Absolutely loved it. Tomorrow we're just having a bit more of a chill day, so we're going out a bit later. We're going to a house and gardens called Bodnant, which is literally just down the road, so like 5 minutes away. Then we'll come back, chill out a bit more, and then we'll go into a place just around the corner that we did stop in to have a cider, I think on like Monday or Tuesday evening. Absolutely loved it. It was an amazing place. We're going there for dinner tomorrow, which is our only night out for dinner whilst we're here this week. So looking forward to that. It's just more of a chill day tomorrow. Reading wise, I have finished The Painted Bridge by Wendy Wallace. I would definitely recommend this book. Okay, so I'm thinking I'll give it 4 stars, but there's a part of me that thinks maybe this should be a 5 stars. So it's very well written, it's beautifully written, it's stunning, absolutely stunning, the writing in this, the descriptions. So we're basically following Anna, and she has been put into this asylum, and this is obviously Victorian England. She's basically been told that she's got hysteria by her husband, but he's just basically very devious. He doesn't want her around, so his easy way to get her out of the way is to put her into this asylum. And the main person who runs the asylum is basically saying, oh yes, we can treat her, we can cure her and all this, which, you know, she doesn't need to be cured because she's not insane. She doesn't need to be in this asylum. She's basically been locked up and treated horrendously. We do have a bit of action when she escapes with someone else, and they basically go on this little trip in London, but they end up back at the asylum, and then things get worse for Anna. There are some things in here that I think probably would be best to check trigger warnings for beforehand, because there are some harrowing incidents in this. I think mainly the whole idea of this story is to basically bring to light what women went through in Victorian England, and just how poorly they were treated, and how they were so easily told that they had hysteria or there was problems because they were going through, you know, their monthly, and it was, you know, it was just so many, the monthly period, and there was just so many things that was basically put down to hysteria and then being mentally insane and needed to be in an asylum. And then when they were in the asylums, it was harrowing what they went through, and it was horrendous, and there was torture going on, and it was just, yeah, horrendous. Let's just put it that way. So Wendy Wallace does an amazing job at bringing to light what women went through and what these asylums were actually like. At the time, people just thought these were more of like these peaceful grounds that people could go to get better, but it was nothing like that. They had horrendous torture, like methods of torture, to basically make them cured, and all this. It was horrendous. And the people that worked there, I mean, there is a character in this book who works there who is absolutely lovely, and I really liked that character. But then there's one particular character who's meant to be helping these women, and she's just horrendous. So yeah, you've got these groups of people. There are a few characters, but nothing too out there. Nothing. There's not too many characters that you don't know who's who and what's going on. But each character has a role to play in telling this story and bringing this to light. And I don't know, I just absolutely loved it. I thought it was really, really well done. I'm giving it 4 stars because there isn't really, I mean, there is a plot. I think really it'd be 4.5, but because in my reading journal I can't do halves, and I did decide at the beginning of the year that I wouldn't do 0.5 of star ratings. I think I'll just give it 4 because it's more 4 than 5, but a very good read, and I'm so glad that I picked this up in the library. Like I said before, it did kind of reach out to me a little bit. Each time I've seen it twice now in the library on the shelf and being like, you know what, that seems like something I'd really want to read. I do love a story that's set in an asylum, and this is very character driven, this book. This is more character driven than plot driven in my opinion, but it's done so well and it's written so beautifully that I absolutely love this. The description of this book is phenomenal, so I'm definitely going to be reading more from this author. I'm going to find out what else she has written and we'll definitely read more. Next I'm going to pick up this, which is the Arscombe Accusation by Rebecca Tope, which is very autumnal on this cover, and it is set in autumn. It's set in the picturesque Lake District, in I think it's like a small town type of mystery by the looks of things, and all regarding an accusation. And there's been a murder, and I think someone gets blamed for this murder and they're trying to prove their innocence. So that's what I'm going to be reading next. And yeah, I'm looking forward to a nice chilled one tomorrow, and again obviously I will be taking you along. Hello, a very quick update. We had a lovely day over at Bodnant Gardens today, and then had dinner out, so it's quite a chilled day today. I did start the Arscombe Accusation this morning. I got about 40 pages in and I had to DNF. It's the dialogue between characters is just dire. It's the best way of putting it. I just couldn't deal with it, so I just DNF'd 40 pages in. And instead I made a start on this, which I'm now 132 pages in and I'm absolutely loving it. So this has a bit of like a magical element to it. It's a bit of fantasy. We're basically following Breen Kelly, and she's someone who's always struggled in life money wise, and she gets to 26 years of age and she finds out that she actually has about £4 million in the account that her father, who she believed had gone and left when she was 10, has made like a trust fund for her, or like some sort of account that he's been putting money into. And we kind of see in her and her best friend, basically, who's called Marco, they are basically going over to Ireland, which is where her father came from, and they're doing like a trip of a lifetime because she has this money. She no longer has to be working 2 jobs to make ends meet and all of that. So we've kind of seen a little bit of magical sort of situation going on. There's a couple of characters which have appeared to her that might not actually be real, and we're starting to get now into the magical side of the story, which I'm really liking. The writing is absolutely stunning, and we know from the back that like Breen will eventually come across like a portal into another world, and there's going to be even more magic. So it's very much a bit of a fantasy. I didn't know whether Nora Roberts actually did a lot of fantasy or whether she was actually more of a thriller mystery writer. I'm not 100% sure, but I thought she did mystery. So this is actually the first in a series, so I'm intrigued to see where it goes, but I'm very much enjoying it. It's a bit of a chunkier one. I think it's got, how many pages? Oh, I don't know, I think it's about 500 pages. well, 496 to be exact. So quite a bit of a chunky one, only 500 pages, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm liking it very much, and I really like our two main characters that we've got so far, which is Breen and Marco. So I'm intrigued to see where this one goes. But tomorrow we are going to be going to a couple of waterfalls and out doing quite a bit of hiking. So it'll be hiking gear tomorrow, a bit more of a full-on day after such a chill day today. But I'm looking forward to it. Of course, I shall take you along. Hello, and I'm here with a final update on our final night, and I'm also going to wrap up the books that I've read this week. So today was a really good day. We went to Swallow Falls, we went to Aber Falls. At those falls we did quite a big walk and went across the top part of a mountain and did a circular walk, and it was very nice. And we also went to a place called, I'm not actually 100% sure how to say the name, but it's a little village basically around Mount Snowdon. It's going to really bug me now that I can't remember the name of it. And that was very nice. We got coffee and some fudge. And we also went to somewhere in, is it called Betws Coed? I don't know how you say it, which is another village around Mount Snowdon. And there was a tea rooms, like tea gardens, that was attached to a hotel. And we went there and it was absolutely stunning. It was right next to the river. It's called the Riverside Hotel, and would 100% recommend going there if you're ever in the area. Yeah, it was a very good day today, and we've just had a very good holiday in general. Like, we've done a lot of walking, we've done a lot of sightseeing, we've done a lot, but I've also been able to read quite a bit as well. So I finished 3 books and I've got over 200 pages into this. So let's have a look at the books that I've finished. So first of all, we have The Death Watcher by Chris Carter, which is a new release. Chris Carter is an auto-buy author for me, like I said previously. This one was basically following Detective Robert Hunter and his sidekick Garcia, as they were basically looking for a serial killer. It's very much your detective type of storyline, but I always love the characters and I love the banter between the characters, and there's just a lot of humour in this as well. It's not for the faint-hearted. I know I said this before because Chris Carter doesn't hold back on the gore, but I absolutely loved this. I gave it 5 stars. Then I read The Last House on the Cliff by Anne Wynne Clark. This is actually set on the Isle of Anglesey, which is somewhere that we did actually go to whilst on this trip. This one is following Laurie, and on the death of her aunt Gwyn, she goes back to the home on the Isle of Anglesey, and when she goes back there with her daughter Ruby, these strange sort of things start happening. There's a bit of like a supernatural element to the story as well, and then when Ruby goes missing, she kind of has to figure out what's happened to her daughter, and she needs to try and save both herself and her daughter, because there's a lot of secrets that are held in this very small town, which, you know, a lot of people don't want the truth being let out, that sort of thing. I did quite enjoy this. I gave it 4 stars. It's very dark and twisty, which I absolutely loved. So yeah, I did end up enjoying this very much. And then I read The Painted Bridge by Wendy Wallace. This is basically set, oh, what year is it again? 1859, in like a Victorian London. This is about when there were a lot of asylums around, and women got placed into asylums for, you know, they'd say it was mania or hysteria and things like that. And you're kind of seeing, we're kind of following Anna as she gets put into this asylum by her husband, and she's trying to prove that she isn't mad, and, you know, she wants to get out. This is very character driven, and the writing is absolutely stunning. I gave it 4 stars, but I kind of feel like if there was more to the plot as well as just being character driven and stunning writing, I think this would be at 5 stars. But there was moments where it was a bit slow. But I did thoroughly enjoy it, and I'm definitely going to be reading more from this author as well, because her writing is absolutely stunning. And then I made good progress on Nora Roberts, The Awakening by Nora Roberts, which is the first in the Dragonheart Legacy series, and I'm definitely going to be continuing this series. This is a bit of a fantasy. I have high hopes for this, and I'm feeling this could definitely be a 5-star read. So we're basically following Breen Kelly, and when she finds out there's been some money that's been left for her, she decides to go to Ireland, which is where her father was from. So she lives in America. She's always thought she was from America, so she goes to Ireland, and one day she's walking in the woods and she goes through this, almost like this portal to this other world, and she starts to find out who her family really are, including her father and her grandmother. And it's absolutely stunning, the writing in this book. I cannot express just how stunning it is. This morning I was reading it, and there was a moment where I was nearly crying because of the descriptions of the cottage that she goes to stay in with her friend in Ireland was absolutely stunning. So I actually brought tears to my eyes. Just the description of this cottage was absolutely stunning, and I absolutely loved it. So yeah, the writing is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I thought Nora Roberts was a mystery writer, and this is definitely more fantasy. We've got worlds of fairies, witches, elves, all that sort of thing, and I'm all for it. I'm absolutely loving it. Obviously Breen has no idea of this other world, and when she's first told about it, she just thinks everyone is absolutely crazy and they're trying to hypnotize her and make her think this. And it's interesting to see from someone's perspective and point of view, from someone who's never experienced it before and is just finding out about it for the first time. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this book. I'm probably going to finish this in the drive home, but yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. So I just wanted to give, you know, my final thoughts on the books that I read this week, which were 3 and a good way through a 4th book. So that's a really good reading week for me as well. And I've taken you along for our holiday in Wales, which we've absolutely loved. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. It's probably going to be quite long. I'm going to see how it condenses down. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you've enjoyed coming along with me in Wales, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back very soon with another one. Bye.